A lot's being spoken about Jonny Bairstow's red ball reset. And there's an article on Wisdom where they highlight what they believe is the reason for the change in his test batting fortunes. So we're going to take a look at that reason in a second. And I'm going to show you why that's actually not the reason. And that the reason for his turnaround in form is something that I've been speaking about since January 2019. And then tomorrow, keep your eyes open, I'm going to do a video on highlighting how flawed the current coaching structures in the professional game are and how it's costing players like Jonny, who's lost more than 3 years of his test career performing significantly below his best when it needn't have been the case. And I'm also going to present the solution tomorrow as to how players can protect themselves from prolonged form slumps like Jonny's gone through in the test arena, but also how you can protect yourself from form slumps in all three formats. But for now, let's just dive into that article that Wisdom have done, and we're going to take a quick look at that now. So over here we can see that there are two side-by-side images. The image on the left is Jonny in 2018 against Pakistan, and the image on the right is him facing up during the Ashes now in 2022 in Australia. Now first off, these two images are taken at completely different times in the delivery sequence. So we shouldn't really be using them as analysis, and this is what Wisdom are doing. But needless to say, the point that they're making here is that in the image on the left, Jonny is exposing more of his stumps. He's staying more leg side of the ball, which is his white ball strategy, which has served him incredibly well. Image on the right, he's covering his stumps more. Now Wisdom are saying that this change in where he's setting up is the reason and the main cause for his turnaround in fortunes. Now, this actually isn't true. And the reason it isn't true is because when you are fundamentally sound, you can set up wherever you want, as long as you know where your off stump is. So players have been setting up on leg stump, two leg, middle stump, middle and off, and scoring bucket loads of runs. So to attribute Jonny's turnaround in form in an adjustment that he's made to where he's setting up is completely flawed. And the reason it's flawed is because what they've inadvertently done is the image on the left, you can see that the ball is halfway down, and the image on the right is pre-release. Now the image on the left, this is the crucial moment in time for all batsmen. Now if you look at this image, does Jonny look like he can actually play this ball? Now think about it. You've got somewhere between 0.4 and a few fractions of a hundredth of a second to 0.5 at this level to see, react to the ball. Ball's already more than halfway down. He's still now got to get his bat into the unweighted position. This image on the left is the real reason why he's been struggling. He runs out of time, and against a moving ball, that's why he's been dismissed LBW and clean bowled as such a high percentage of his dismissals in the test game. So now let's do a side-by-side analysis of the crucial moment in time from both test matches. So we can see on the left over here, look at the position of Jonny's bat, and we can this is incredibly fundamentally flawed. Position on the right is better. It's still fundamentally flawed, but this is the real reason for the turnaround in his test fortunes. Now there's still room for improvement because every player who's averaged over 50 in the modern era in test cricket is not in the same position as Jonny is on the right at this crucial moment in time. So he's still going to have issues when the ball's nipping about because of this position. And he's still going to get out LBW and bowled because of it. Considering where he's setting up now, he's actually opening himself up to more LBW dismissals if the ball is moving. So there's still room for improvement here. Now, how was I able to identify this as early as 2019 or start to speak about it consistently since January 2019 online? Now, that's because in batting, there are key fundamentals that need to be adhered to, and nobody's talking about them. One of them is unweighting the bat. Now, this has become sort of a hot topic, and everybody's talking about it, But people still don't understand that every player is going to have a unique timing sequence. And there's a crucial moment where you need to be if you want to be averaging, well, definitely averaging above 50 in Test cricket, because every player who's averaged over 50 in the modern era has got into this position by the crucial moment in time. So there's definitely still room for Jonny to improve. And by helping players develop these skills in person, I've helped 5 professional top order batsmen to an average improvement of 37.07% above their career batting averages, and that's across all 3 formats in under 12 interactions. This is one of the core fundamentals that once you understand it, once you know how to train it, once you know how to measure it so that you know if you're executing it correctly, when you can do that and you know what your fundamentals are, you're crystal clear, you know how to measure them, and you know how to make adjustments and fix things if your measure will tell you something's off, this is how you protect yourself from having bad habits creep into your technique, because your fundamentals inform your technique. So by training and measuring fundamentals first, you can protect yourself from having bad habits creep into your game. You're always balanced, your contact points are spot on, your body angles are spot on, and most importantly, you're consistently unweighting the bat. If Jonny gets his sequencing correct, and he gets himself lining up at that crucial moment in time, just like every player in the history of the modern era who's averaged more than 50 in Test cricket, Jonny's going to start to open up some access to his full batting potential. He's going to create more time on the ball for himself, especially when the ball is moving, and he's going to start averaging mid to high 40s, and even he could push himself into the 50s.